Video games. We play them to have fun, right? Then why do we not seem to play anything? Well, it's because of the dreaded the gaming backlog, or library, if you want a nicer sounding term for it, is what most, if not all, gamers dread having. But if we dread it, why do we have it in the first case? If it truly is cause for concern and stresses us out that we haven't played all of the games that people say we need to, why do we make these for ourselves? If we complete our backlogs, will we all feel better and have the ability to live better and less stressful lives? And how do we go about tackling it? These are the questions I aim to find an answer for by the end of the video. To answer the first part, I will use some anecdotal experience. It was December of 2020. After a long and stressful year, I wanted a game to have dumb fun with. On Christmas morning, I opened Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity. I wanted it because it was in the Breath of the Wild universe and it had warrior-style gameplay of just hacking and slashing hundreds of enemies. When I started playing it, it was just that. But as I continued through my 60-hour journey with the game, I got invested in the story. And by the time I rolled credits, I didn't want it to be over. Once the credits were done, I just sat there and reflected on what I had just played. And I just thought, man. A similar experience was the case for Tears of the Kingdom. By the time I rolled credits, after 100 hours, I was actually crying. This is what we all want. That overwhelming sense of joy, but sadness, a sense of completion, but also longing to experience it again blind. Once you experience this with a game, you'll continue chasing this feeling again. And that is why we are worried about missing out on all of these games. We just want to have this experience at least one more time. So we can't afford to miss it by not playing games. Now, the guilty feeling of having a backlog that we put up with by having one. Some reasons for this are the sunk cost effect. We don't want to waste our money and time if we have already bought or started playing a game. Then it feels like we didn't need it. The reason the backlog has such a presence in gamers' minds is because of the Zeigarnik effect, which makes us remember incomplete tasks more clearly. Having all of these games sitting incomplete or not even started on our backlogs weighs down our consciousness and can prevent us from tackling the backlog, or just returning to a comfort game while also feeling guilty about not finishing other games. If we all finish our backlogs, we will feel better, right? As much as I would like to have a definitive answer for you, that just isn't possible because I haven't finished my own. What I can say is the fact that we will never be able to truly finish our backlogs, just because of the sheer amount of games being released each month and year. This is another problem we all face. When tackling our backlog, new games just keep getting released, and we want to play them before everyone forgets about them. In doing this, we just keep expanding our backlog almost indefinitely. The logical part of us says that we will have a sense of peace after completing our backlog, but maybe we will just be filled with a sense of emptiness. But there is only one way to find out. The plan is simple. Make a backlog spreadsheet and see how many I can beat in 1 year's time. I compiled a list of games that I own, and I have 75 games that haven't been beaten yet. 75? That can't be right. I just double-checked, it is right. What have I gotten myself into? After making a list of all of my games, I looked at how long to beat for the average time for the main story, and I have a grand total of 1,645.5 hours of gaming to do. If I played an average of 3 hours a day of only games that are on my backlog, it would take me 548.5 days. That is almost a year and a half of gaming. And doing this doesn't factor in family vacations, school, and schoolwork. With this in mind, it would more likely take 2 years for me to complete the backlog. This iteration of the backlog, this doesn't include the games that we know are coming out, because there are no estimates of time for those games, and the games that we don't even know of yet. And it doesn't take into account the games that I will see on sale and think, oh, I've always wanted to play that game, and buy it, adding even more time to my backlog. As I went through making the spreadsheet and writing the script for this video, I started having an overwhelming sense of how big this backlog truly is and will still get in the future. It made me question if I was doing the right thing. But then I thought that I could at least give every game on the list a chance. I can play each game, and if it doesn't hook me, I will not continue playing it. I do not have to roll credits on every game, because realistically I probably won't get hooked by every game, and that's fine. I will fight off the sunk cost effect and just shelve it or sell it, and let somebody else have the potential of finding that man game. Once I got over this mental hurdle, I started getting excited to do this. I would potentially have some of the best experiences and unforgettable memories forged by this journey. Along with the titles of games and how long to beat estimates, I have an excitement rating before I start playing, if it is released and if I have purchased it, whether or not I rolled credits on it, my time played, and over the course of how long. And then I have a rating after the fact of finishing them or dropping them. The reason I finished or dropped it, if I found a man game, and if it was worth my time. I also have space to write down my reviews of each game after each session of playing, so it also functions as a diary of how I was feeling during the course of each game. So I can look back and relive each game a little bit, just by looking at it. After sitting with my completed list and looking at it, I felt excitement to tackle it, but I also felt a strange sense of something. Peace? No, that can't be right. Happiness? Why would I feel this way when I haven't even done anything? No, it was neither of these things. It was a sense of accomplishment. So I looked into this and found out that just by making a plan, it can feel like you made progress on your task. And this frees your mind from some of the guilt, because it knows that you have a plan and will set time aside to complete it when you can. I was feeling like I had already completed some of my games on my backlog, and this just fueled me even more to complete the goal. Now that I had freed up some of my mental space, I can do this. I have a plan laid out for myself and a goal. See how far I can get in 1 year's time. With all that I have covered in this video, there is still a second part a year from now, where I will show how far I have gotten and if I managed to best the backlog or whether I have fallen short. Did doing my backlog make me feel a sense of peace, or did it leave me empty? We will find out a year from now. I challenge you all to take this approach, or some approach, and see how far you get in a year as well, and how it makes you feel. In the meantime, I will be streaming the bigger games on this channel in the near future and uploading playthroughs of the games I like and think you guys will enjoy watching. 75 games, one person. How far will I get? We will find out. I would like to take this moment to thank Daryl Talks Games for inspiring me to approach my backlog and make this video. If it weren't for him, I would not know how to tackle my backlog, and I probably wouldn't have done it. If you have made it this far and enjoyed the video, I would appreciate it if you could leave a like and subscribe, as it would help out a ton, and there will be more content like this to come in the future. Thank you for watching, see you next one, and good gaming to you all.